Oh, hey, Wonder World. Happy motherfucking Tuesday. Welcome to the 100 Wonderful Ways to Get More and Better Clients. I know that you joined a Facebook group called Unicorn Client Attraction Secrets because, of course, you want more and better motherfucking clients, right? That's why you're here. Okay, so just say hey when you're popping on. Just say hey. Let's get this party started today because today we are talking all about sales page secrets. So, who here has a sales page? Anyone? Anyone here have a sales page? You should have a motherfucking sales page if a couple things, okay? One, you have clients, okay? You already have some clients, you've already served those clients. Two, those clients got results, okay? We needed it so that those clients got results. Three, those clients gave you testimonials. So after you have some clients, okay, after they get some results and after you have some testimonials, this is the perfect time for you to build a sales page, okay? So it is a very, very common mistake that people actually build a sales page before they should, okay? Before they should. So I'm trying to get the live up here and making sure that we're all good to go here. So just say hey in the comments so I can see the comments. Okay, so number one thing to do, order of operations, right? And I know it's like, but Nicole, chicken and the egg. Well, how am I supposed to get clients if I don't have a sales page? You're supposed to talk to people. You're supposed to talk to people. You're supposed to have conversations with them. Those conversations can happen in the DMs. They can happen on sales calls. They can even happen live in real person. They can even happen in the comments. But basically, we have a conversation with people. We identify if we can help them, if we have the results that they do in fact want, and if they're willing to be on board with our methodology. And then we just make them a custom offer and we say, hey, I can help you to get that thing. It's going to be this amount of money in this amount of time. And they say, okay, awesome, great. What's the next steps? You send them a PayPal link or a Stripe link, they pay, and then you just start serving them. Okay. So you shouldn't be building sales pages before you've gone through this process. Do you want to know why? Because you're not going to have your messaging dialed in. Okay. You're not going to have your messaging dialed in. You're not going to have the testimonials that you need to have on sales pages for your sales page to be effective. And number three, this is the biggest problem and a problem that I see all the goddamn time is that you're going to have a sales page full of bullshit that doesn't actually convert and actually talks people out of the sale. Okay. A lot of you guys who are not getting clients yet actually have sales pages that are working against you. Okay. They're working against you because they're talking you out of the sale. Okay, so let's talk about some really, really common mistakes because knowing what not to do is just as important as knowing what to do. And you can take my word for this because I actually have had sales pages from $7 all the way up to $10,000. I've had people buy $10,000, pay in full, straight through the funnel without ever getting onto a sales call, without ever talking to any member of the team. The fastest we ever had this happen was actually in 3 days flat. Okay, somebody came into the group. They were in this group for 3 days and bought pay in full $10,000 into nonstop notifications into my client attraction program without a sales call. And you want to know why? Because I know what to put on a fucking sales page. And I also know what not to put on sales pages, okay? So this is really fucking important for you to get your head around, okay? It's like, what do we put on a sales page and what do we not put on a sales page? So a couple days ago, I posted a post in here and some of you guys responded on it. And that post said, right, scrolling down it, I said, hey, do you fully read posts or are you a skimmer? Okay, are you a skimmer, right? Guess what everybody said? Are you a post reader or a skimmer? Guess what everybody said? Almost everybody on that post said, I'm a skimmer, I'm a skimmer, I'm a skimmer. And those people are telling the truth, okay? Because most people do not read. They do not read a full post. They do not read a full sales page. Hardly ever. Okay, so that's a really important thing that you need to know when you're creating a sales page is that people are going to skim it before they read it. And that means that you need to build your sales page in very intentional layers. The first layer is imagining the client experience, is that they're going to click on this link, maybe from your email, maybe from a Facebook group, maybe from your personal page, maybe from a story, right? They're going to click this link because they want the result you're selling. Okay, that's why they clicked the link. It wasn't on accident. They're not going to just randomly come to your sales page. That's not a thing. You have to drive traffic to your sales page in order for people to see it. Just because you build it doesn't mean people look at it. Okay, you have to intentionally drive traffic. So people coming to your sales page are coming there because they want a very, very specific result. Okay, so when they get to the sales page, the first thing they do is skim. Okay, so they're going to go through this, they're just going to skim. And so, what are the things that you see when you're skimming a sales page? Okay, the number one thing is pictures. The number one thing, and I can tell you guys, I have done a lot of sales page reviews, a lot, okay? And in those sales page reviews, the number one mistake that people are making is they do not have enough images. They don't have enough pictures, so it looks like a fucking newspaper and nobody reads a goddamn thing. The number two mistake that they make is that they have the wrong kind of images. Okay, they have stock photos that don't really elicit any feelings. They don't tell a story themselves. So the first thing that you need to think about is people are going to skim your sales page and they're going to look at the pictures. Okay, so you need to think about your sales page as a picture book. Do you remember those books when you were a little kid, right? You open them and it's like see Spot run. Hey, there's a picture of Spot. And what is Spot doing? He's running. Okay. See Spot run is the text, and the picture is of Spot running. This is the first line of thinking for a sales page. When you skim through it, it should be a picture with a bullet point that basically says what the picture is. Okay. When you create that skimmability, then people skim it and they're like, okay, this is worth reading because they just read a little bit of a picture book as they go down through this. So as they go down through that sales page, they're like, okay, I saw Spot run. I saw Spot get the ball. I want the ball. So I'm going to read a little bit more. They go back up to the top and now they actually start reading the sales page more in depth. So you need to have the skimmable layer and then you need to have the in-depth layer. Does this make sense? Right? Does this make sense? Are you maybe skipping that skimmable step? I think that most of you are. I think that most of you are, right? Okay, so we need to make sure that we are including the skimmable intention. If we're not doing this, people are not going to read the sales page. Are we clear? Okay, so with the next layer, then we got to think about the client experience, and not every client is the same. And so that is actually why we built in Wonderworld our sales pages into three different specific sections. Okay, the first section is for the people who are result driven. Okay, this is a person like me. Okay, I don't care what I have to do to get the results. If you have the results that I want, let's fucking do this shit, right? I'm in. I don't like to read a bunch of crap. Okay, I don't need to have my hand held through the sales process. I'm not afraid. Okay, I just want to know that you have the results that you sell. Okay, what methodology that we're going to use to get it and how much is it? Let's go, right? Like I just want to pay. Okay, so there's going to be a result driven section right at the top. Don't make me work to pay. I don't want to work to pay. I want to throw my credit card at that motherfucking screen. I don't want to have to think about it. I like to just buy. The second section is for emotionally driven buyers who like to buy because everyone else is buying. Okay, these people, they need a story. Okay, they need a story. They need to be sucked into the emotion of the story. They need to feel attached to those results. They also need to feel like lots of people have bought before. They need to feel the feeling that everybody is inside and they're on the outside. Okay, these buyers like to buy from the feeling of inspiration. They're inspired to buy. So they're going to see that result driven section at the top and then they're going to get lost in the story of it. And then they're going to click that button right away because now they feel the feeling they want to buy. So we have that nice feeling-based section in the middle for inspirational buyers. Then at the bottom, we have our informational buyers. Okay. At that bottom section, this is where we're going to have all of our testimonials. This is where we're going to have our authority build. This is where we're going to have frequently asked questions. Okay. In this bottom section, we are taking the informational buyers who, yes, needed to see that there were results. Yes, needed to feel a feeling too. But also, when they get down to the bottom, they need to have all of their questions answered because they need to have the fear of the unknown completely removed. Okay, so when we think about our sales page in these multiple layers, skimming, then in depth, but then also three sections, right? Of those result driven buyers, the inspiration driven buyers, and then the informational buyers. This gives us our structure, our framework for a really successful sales page where even if people are buying $7 versus $10,000, they actually have a chance to buy. Is this making sense? Are we following along? We got those little bouncing balls going on here? Good, okay? Because here's the in-depth portion for every single section. And we're going to touch base through each of these things to help you to get the highest and best results. And I want to start with a little bit of a caveat here, okay? So remember, We have to drive traffic to sales pages in order for them to convert. And so a good rule of thumb is that you should not change anything on your sales page until you've had at least 100 people visit it. Okay, that's your number, 100. So that means you're going to drive traffic and have at least 100 people look at the sales page before we make any reflect and refine edits. A lot of the problem that I see you guys doing is that you drive traffic for 5 seconds, you have 3 people look at your sales page, and you're like, it didn't work, I need to change everything. And then you create way too many variables and you can't actually create a successful sales page because you're not driving enough traffic. So, how do we drive traffic to sales pages, guys? Okay. One of the best ways to do this is with content that crushes. Content that crushes is my algorithm hacking piece of content, right? 5 algorithm hacking pieces of content that I used on my personal page to close 10 high ticket clients in my very first 6 weeks. Okay, so this is a specific type of posting that's you're going to use transformational stories that's going to attract ready for results, ready to invest clients. So if you're not bringing people who are ready to invest to the sales page, is it really the sales page's fault that it didn't convert? Like, no, right? If we take 100 random people that are at the grocery store today and they look at your sales page and nobody buys, that's not good enough data. Okay, we need to have better data from better people, which means we need better traffic driving systems. So when you use content that crushes, these 5 algorithm hacking pieces of content are going to attract ready to invest people who already want your results. And those are going to be the people that are clicking the link. So we know that those people are pre-qualified before they hit your sales page. And we want to have 100 of those people go through the sales page before we change anything. Okay, we want to be really, really solid on this. We want to make sure this makes sense. Okay, 100 people minimum. Content that crushes will help you to get there. You can do this very quickly. It's not something that takes time, it's something that takes intention. Obviously, the better your posts are within content that crushes, the more traffic you drive. And this is going to give you the data that you need to reflect and refine to improve your sales pages. So if you don't have content that crushes yet, just drop a unicorn in the comments. We'll send you over the link, right? We can send it over. And one of the greatest bonuses about content that crushes is that once you get inside of content that crushes, you do the mini course. At the end of the mini course, there is a little bonus section, and that little bonus section is going to give you access to post in this group, okay, of over 32,000 entrepreneurs, which I'm sure some of them are really great candidates for what it is that you sell, right? So you're going to have access to post in here anytime you want. So you can use content that crushes to post in my audience to drive traffic to your fucking sales pages so that you can close more clients because I have a secret, okay? I want you to get more and better clients. That's why I opened a group called Unicorn Client Attraction Secrets, because I want you to get more and better clients. So I'm helping you to do this. So you can just drop a unicorn in the comments. We'll swing by with the link. We'll hook you up with content that crushes. You can get bonus access to post inside of this group so you can drive traffic to your sales page. Okay, so we have to know that going in. We have to drive traffic to sales pages in order for us to know if a sales page is effective or not. So how many people? Let's a little pop quiz. How many people do you need to have on your sales page? How many people have to see it before you change anything? Put it in the comments so we can make sure that everyone understands. Okay, everybody's absolutely clear on this, right? So once we have all of those people go and we drive traffic to this, then we know we can reflect and refine. So for this very first section, the result driven section, what you need to do is make sure, okay, make sure that the headline, okay, the headline, the very first thing that they see on this page, that headline talks about the results. Okay, this is so important. And I know some people are using scarcity lines up here. Some people are like, hi, my name's Nicole. No one cares. Okay, your bio doesn't go first, the results go first. So what result is it that you're selling on your sales page? Okay, so for example, if I was making a sales page, I don't know, for Wonder Camp. Okay, if I was making a sales page for Wonder Camp, the headline isn't going to be, hi, I'm Nicole, come join me in the forest for 5 days. That's not the headline, right? Because that's not the result of Wonder Camp. Okay, the result of Wonder Camp is that you're going to be a high ticket closer. So it's going to be become a high ticket closer. Okay, close high ticket sales. That is a headline that talks about the result. And I want to be very clear. The result is not your authority. Okay, and the result is not your methodology. Okay, so the methodology is not the result. And this is a huge mistake that I see people make all the time is that they either lead with a bio or they lead with the methodology. Lead with the result, because result buying people are the first people to buy, and that's going to create your momentum of sales to know that your sales page is working. Make sense? So we're going to have that result driven headline right up at the top, along with a scroll stopping image. Okay, we know what scroll stopping images are from Facebook land, from social media. Okay, so we want to have a really great connecting kind of image that supports that headline, because remember, see spot run. Okay, we're creating that picture book. And then right at the top, we're going to have a button. And this button is going to take us to the pay page. Okay, and I know you're like, but I want them to see my entire sales page. I want them to see everything that I did. Your sales page is not about you. It's not about you feeling valid. It's not about you feeling good enough. It's not about people liking you. Okay. It's about people being able to buy what they want when they want it. Don't make people work to find the link. Just give them a button right at the top. So we have this nice, great headline. We have this beautiful image. And then underneath that image, we have a one single sentence line that tells people who this is for, what results they can expect to receive, what they're not going to have to do, the previous methodology, and the new methodology, along with a call to action button. That call to action button needs to speak directly to the results. Does this make sense? Okay, directly to the results. So then they can click that button, they get to the pay screen, boom, Bob's your uncle, and now we have a new fucking client. Okay, so we don't fuck around in that first section. Got it? Now into the second section. We're going to be talking about those inspirational buyers. So this is where you're going to tell that transformational story. And after you do the content that crushes fucking training, you're going to have access to how to create transformational stories that actually sell. And you're going to see that transformational story work on social media. So it's a really great unicorn hack to just take one of your social media posts that work really well and put it on your fucking sales page, because you're testing it, right? You're testing it. You're trying it out. You're putting it in front of a very warm audience, and they're raising their hands and they're putting unicorns in the comments and they're saying, yes, 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 yes. You know that copy has converted. So take that already high converting copy and put it in this section. Okay, this is a great section for you to really talk about the results that you have, talk about your clients getting results, right? So we can really put that connection piece in where people are connecting the dots, like, oh, this does in fact work. That transformational story is going to show people what you were doing before, what you did in the middle, and now how it feels. There's a lot of feeling words in this section, right? How it feels to get these results and to have them, so they get really attached to that. And again, at the bottom of this section, you're going to have a button, okay? Because we don't want to make these people work to go find the button at the bottom. They want the button now. They're ready to buy. So give them the button. This call to action, this CTA on this button should be very emotionally driven. So it's talking about the feelings of how it feels to have this result. That button having the feeling words in it is what's going to take this buyer from being someone shopping your sales page, skimming along, to someone who's actually paying, invested inside of your program. Make sense? Okay, so now get back over to that sales page, because we got the third section. And the third section is the most in-depth section, because this is for our informational buyers. And remember, we still have to have pictures, okay? We still have to have images, because an image is worth 1,000 words, or whatever the fuck it is that they say. So we still have to have that picture book kind of thinking and that kind of mentality, right? Because we have to have people skim it and then go back and read it again in depth. So in this section, this is a great place for testimonials. You have testimonials, right? Because we're not creating sales pages without the testimonials. So we want to get those testimonials in there. This is the perfect thing. It's like people have gotten results before. That removes the fear of the unknown. They see those testimonials going up and they're like, yes, please. Like, okay, it's working for other people. That means that it could work for me. They get excited. They get attached to this. This is also a great place to have a more in-depth case study. Okay, a case study is where we're basically talking about one of our clients and them getting the results through this process, what they had to do to get them, what their life was like before, and what their life is like now, right? So we put that in-depth case study. That can be done in written form. That can even be done in a video. Okay, so if we have a video case study here that's pretty short, to the point, that can help us to close more clients, right? Because they see the video of this. So we go through that process, they get attached to the results, they watch this other person, this case study, and they're like, okay, I see what was going on here. But then they have a question that pops into their head. And it is, who the fuck is this person, and why the fuck should I listen to them though? I see all this social proof, I see it, I'm getting on board, but like, who is this person? This is a great place for your bio. This is where you put the authority build. right? This is where you talk about your accolades. Maybe you have some PR that you can mention here. This is where you really strengthen that know, like, and trust, and you let people see you, the actual person selling this, so they can build that connection so that they can want more from you because they know that you're qualified. So it basically should answer the question, who the fuck are you and why the fuck should we listen to you in that section? Make sense? Okay, so now after they're on board and they trust you and they're like, okay, this bitch knows what's up, this girl knows what she's doing, the next section underneath this is going to be the frequently asked questions section. Okay, now in the frequently asked questions section, this is a mistake that I see a lot of people making that's actually talking people out of the sale. Okay, I see this frequently when I'm a lurker. I lurk and I watch and I look at you guys' sales pages all the time. And I get down to the bottom and I look at your frequently asked questions and I'm always like, fuck, what are you doing? What the fuck are you doing here? Okay, because the biggest mistake that you make is that you put so much information in here that you literally talk people out of the sale. Okay. You're talking, 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 talking. Okay. And you're using the wrong questions. The fact of the matter is that you get to choose which questions you put in this section. And so these questions shouldn't be basic bitch things like how many modules are there? Okay. That question is not going to help people to buy because no one cares how many modules there are. Okay. So we want to make sure that we're asking sales questions here that are actually helping people to overcome objections. So we have to know what those objections are. Okay, so we want to know what our primary objections are that all of our clients have coming into our offers. And that's not because we're bad people and not good enough. It's just because people have objections. It's okay for people to have objections. It doesn't make them bad people either. Okay, they can have objections because this is helping with discernment. And quite honestly, there's some shit on the market, right? There's some bad shit. They should have fucking discernment. So we want to address those specific questions that they have that are producing objections in their head. And we want to face it head on, okay? We don't want to try to avoid the big scary question. People have objections and it's okay. So we want to address those things head on. Okay, like basically, people will feel a feeling of an internal objection and an external objection. The internal objection is usually around the fact of like, am I going to be good enough, right? Like, am I good enough to get the results? Like, what if I'm not good enough, right? Is this program or this offer actually going to support me to get these results? Like, is it going to work for me? Those are the kind of internal objections that produce those big, scary what ifs, right? What if I don't make my money back, right? What if it doesn't work for me? Tackle those big, scary questions head on. Don't hide from them. Then there's going to be an external objection. And the external objection is more usually around like kind of like logisticals or skill sets around this. It's like, what if I'm a really bad writer? Like, am I still going to be able to get clients inside of your client attraction program if I'm a really bad writer, right? Like, do I have to be good at writing, right? Like, those kinds of objections, they feel bad for people and they say, ooh, I don't think I can buy this because I'm sure that I'm not smart enough. I don't have the skill sets. So we want to overcome those external objections, right? And those external objections could also be tethered to the methodology pieces where you're looking at the actual methodology and saying, hey, this isn't something that actually works for me, right? And like, oh, I don't really want to run 10 miles today. So this isn't going to work. Okay, so we want to get them over any methodology objections. If you don't do a good enough job in this section, people will not buy. Okay. They will go through this and they will get talked out of the sale and they'll be like, well, I guess this isn't for me. And they won't even click over to the next button. So we need to make sure that we overcome those pieces. They overcome those fears. Okay. The internal fear and the external, whatever the skill set problem is. Okay. We overcome that in the frequently asked sections and then question section. Then we have a button. Okay. And now this is the last button on the sales page. So this is your last chance to get them over that hill, right? So this is a value-based CTA. We want them to really understand the value, the ROI, the return on investment. We put that value-based CTA at the bottom of the sales page. They click it, they get over to that final portion, they put in the order form, they put their credit card in, throw it at the screen, and boom, now you have a new motherfucking client. Okay, so this is the framework that you need in order to build successful sales pages, whether we're talking about $7 or $10,000 ones. That really comes down to language patterns because there are low ticket language patterns and high ticket language patterns. Okay. And so that is where the differential comes in. But the formula for sales pages is all the same. And once you really understand this formula, then you're able to create a sales page at any level that people will buy straight through the motherfucking funnel, which I know we want that, right? Okay, so I hope this has been helpful for you guys today. I hope you got some good takeaways, got the juices flowing here a little bit. I'm heading over to Money Making Unicorns right now. If you don't know what Money Making Unicorns is, this is my $47 a month monthly membership where we really focus in on strategy. And so the strategy that we're going to be focusing on today is frequently asked questions. Okay, so I'm going to be breaking all of this down, specifically how to overcome the objections, what questions you should be asking on your sales page. We're going to dive really deep into that section. So for all of my Money Making Unicorns, get your asses over there. If you are not in Money Making Unicorns yet, $47 a month, total no fucking brainer. Get your ass over there, right? And if you want to just jump to the top, well, also inside of Nonstop Notifications tomorrow, my client attraction program where we go all the way in helping you to build a unicorn sales funnel from start to finish to get you to 30 to 50K months. Inside of that program, we're actually doing sales page review this week, right? So all of the sales page things in Wonder World to help you to close more and better clients because that's what we're here for. All right, get out there, do all of the wonderful things, and I will see your bitch asses next Tuesday.